A state of emergency has been declared, and the Israeli people could not celebrate the anniversary of the founding of the state because the Israeli Independence Day event on Thursday, May 1st, 2025, was canceled. The fire that occurred the previous day had spread rapidly to many cities, including Baitul Maqdis, or Jerusalem, Modi'in, and Tel Aviv. The fire, which started on Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, in the forests of Eshtal and Latrun, west of Baitul Maqdis, forced the evacuation of residents and the closure of major roads. High temperatures, low humidity, and strong winds of up to 100 kilometers per hour made it the worst wildfire in Israel's history. Israel was forced to plead for international assistance to extinguish the fire, as they did not have sufficient equipment to handle this massive fire. So in this video, we will look at the fire that occurred here. Keep watching. This time, Israel is facing the worst fire in its history, while its residents and government continue to blame everyone else around them, including the Palestinian people and Hamas. The conspiracy narrative often played by Israel truly knows no bounds. They themselves have lost trust in the government and have started to break apart, turning against each other, and are actually already in fear. Israel has long used incidents like forest fires to gain sympathy from other countries, and also to accuse them of being acts of terrorism, then begin punishing innocent parties. This time, the fire spread quickly in forests planted with pine trees by illegal settlers after they expelled and seized areas belonging to the original Palestinian inhabitants. The forest area that burned was actually villages that had been the residence of Palestinian people for thousands of years, before the Nakba incident in 1948. Starting in the 1930s, the Jewish National Fund, in cooperation with the Palestine Jewish Colonization Association, began planting forests consisting of pine trees, cypress trees, and other imported trees. This was done to change the landscape of Palestine to look like Europe. By 2024, JNF had planted more than 260 million trees on 100,000 hectares of land. They worked hard to change the original image of the land of Palestine, and also to make these forests a barrier so the original landowners could not return. In December 2010, an illegal Israeli settlement called Little Switzerland, planted with pine trees, also caught fire, killing dozens. In fact, pine trees are not suitable to grow in Palestine, and only 4 out of 10 planted trees can survive, in addition to being highly flammable. To date, Israel has destroyed 800,000 olive trees, which originally grew abundantly in Palestinian lands. Olive trees have high resistance to drought and fire. Palestine has a subtropical climate with dry summers, and Tiret Zvi in the Shian Valley, bordering Jordan, is among the 10 hottest places in the world, with temperatures reaching up to 53.8 degrees Celsius. Every summer, thousands of hectares of pine forests in Israel catch fire. These forest fires are not unusual during the summer in Israel, but the massive fire this time is considered extraordinary. Although authorities stated the fire could be controlled, there was still a risk of recurrence due to hot temperatures between 36 and 39 degrees Celsius and rapidly changing wind conditions. Pine forests, such as those in the hills of Baitul Maqdis, Mount Carmel, and Ben Shimon, are also areas that have repeatedly burned. As of Friday, May 1st, 2025, the fire had destroyed 6,000 acres of land, including 3,000 acres of forest. A sandstorm also hit Israel on April 30th, 2025, further complicating efforts to control the ongoing forest fire. Israel is now facing extreme heat, wildfires, and sandstorms, all at once. Reports mention that some Israeli citizens were hospitalized and firefighters were injured. Hundreds of highway users had to abandon their vehicles on the main highway connecting Tel Aviv and Baitul Maqdis to escape. Train services also had to be suspended. After that, Prime Minister Netanyahu declared a national emergency on May 1st, 2025. Meanwhile, the Minister of National Security, Itamar Ben-Gvir, was blamed for failing to prepare adequately for the fire. In 2022, the National Security Council had proposed purchasing helicopters to combat forest fires, but the proposal was rejected. Current Israeli ministers have also received criticism, and according to Dov Ganem, chairman of the Fire and Air Rescue Association, the government was warned 18 years ago about the lack of preparedness to handle large-scale forest fires. In March 2025, the government cut the fire department's budget by 60 million USD, but increased spending on military operations in Gaza. Meanwhile, Palestinians were accused of starting and continuing the fire. But the fact is, on April 30th, 2025, the Israeli newspaper Haaretz reported that Israeli residents themselves started burning Palestinian-owned farmland in the West Bank. Eli Bir, president of the emergency organization United Hatzalah, claimed the fire was a terrorist attack on Israel and had started in 20 separate locations. Yair Netanyahu, son of Benjamin Netanyahu, also blamed anti-government leftist Jewish groups and Palestinian citizens living in Israel for starting the fire. 6 communities within a 19-mile radius of Baitul Maqdis were evacuated. The fire also engulfed a military museum housing decommissioned armored vehicles near Latrun outside Baitul Maqdis. On May 2, 2025, new fires were also detected in the Latrun area, located between Baitul Maqdis and Tel Aviv, a day after the fire was said to be under control. The fire in the hills of Baitul Maqdis destroyed about 6,200 acres of forest and could only be controlled after nearly 30 hours of firefighting operations. What is happening now is beyond reason and humanity, as many countries quickly deployed firefighting assets, while nearby Gaza is in greater need of aid and is suffering from a famine that is taking lives. News also reported that an activist ship on its way to deliver aid to Gaza caught fire after being attacked by an Israeli drone on May 2, 2025, in international waters near Malta. Meanwhile, within just a few hours, many countries sent aid when Israel requested it. Italy, Croatia, Spain, France, Ukraine, North Macedonia, Cyprus, and Romania sent aircraft to help extinguish the fire. The Israeli foreign minister requested firefighting aircraft and helicopters, including supertankers, to be sent to Israel. Greece responded quickly by sending a Boeing 747 supertanker, one of the largest firefighting aircraft in the world, capable of carrying up to 74,000 liters of water in a single mission. Only 4 such aircraft exist in the world. In conclusion, the forests that burned are artificial landscapes built by Israeli settlers who tried to create a so-called new paradise on land seized from the original Palestinian inhabitants. Like the pine trees, Zionist Israelis are foreign to the land of Palestine and will eventually be driven out.